When America Rejects the Message by the movie cynic. Let's get into it.
Box office bombs and dying movie theaters. Non-existent social influence. The mystique of the Hollywood celebrity has been dead for a while, but it was made official a couple weeks ago when
You know, the funny part is like we don't really have like outstanding new Hollywood stars, right? Mud. um it's just like people like the old ones and they don't like the new ones. Like, who gives a rat's ass about somebody like Rachel Zegler or the chick that played Rey in Star Wars? Like, there's no new I have a hard time naming Hollywood stars that aren't like in their 50s.
America gave one final notice. They're done with the messaging. And you know what? It's time to chronicle this epic timeline and dissect what happened in a video. So let's go. I canceled my next Austin Powers impersonator gig for this.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Politicians in 2024 still thought celebrities were effective at change the same way music changes.
Yeah, imagine assembling the Avengers and still losing the election. If the Avengers can't help you, nobody can. Like Jackie Chan, I like how work, but not him as a human, because he cheated on his wife. Neuter that man. Hey, the rat's ass thing is my line. Just kidding. I used that before you, ever.
Is a scene.
Deep down, you deserve to be punished. Don't you, Mr. Wood?
Paid celebrity speeches at political rallies peppered the landscape to no avail. As it turns out, getting an endorsement from an Avengers cast that peaked 10 years ago didn't have an effect on voter habits. In Rachel Zegler's outburst, shitting on half her potential audience, might have been a hilarious new chapter in someone's imploding career, but no one's losing sleep over it, except maybe the heads at Disney. A huge swath of people, including Hollywood and the entertainment industry as a whole, seem to be realizing that which we've been talking about for a while now. People are rejecting not just celebrities, but abandoning entertainment that's...
You can just look like, for example, at comics and how bad comics currently sell. Because everywhere we get the message, and we know what that message is. Or that nonsense about, like, yeah, the message, forced diversity, politics. Nothing is really catered to people that just straight up want entertainment and just don't want to hear, like, pointed at people. You are bad if you don't do these things. People just hate it at this point.
Injected with messaging. An actor endorsing a politician makes sense. As we approach the year 2025, the only kind of person who'd want to do either profession is probably a narcissist. No one wants to hear what they have to say, but they'll let you know anyway. A celebrity can tell someone how to act and not realize that their audience become Buzz and Woody if an adult Andy opened incognito mode for a third time tonight.
You got a friend in me.
What the fuck is that clip? What the fuck is that clip?
No one wants to listen to something inauthentic, and that's how people see the Hollywood type of celebrity. Vacuous, vain, fake. And there are more famous people now.
Every time I see Hassan, I want to vomit. Like, every single time. Because I really dislike the dude. And his whole crew on Twitch. I really... Ugh. See? I even prefer Logan Paul over this dude. No thanks.
than there ever have been in history thanks to the internet, but the kind of fame that carries weight isn't what it used to be. In a connected world, authenticity is key. The celebrity who can shift a culture isn't an actor anymore. It's not Robert Downey Jr. shifting change, it's the Joe Rogans of the world. I thought now that it's been a couple weeks, what happened deserves an apolitical autopsy. The election in America proved what we knew. A declining box office, dying theater business, and struggling streaming services are directly linked to a shift in culture away from the political messaging Hollywood's gleefully jam down audiences.
But yeah, it is true. Those streaming services, they get more expensive. They lose shit. Remember the times where you were paying for Netflix or Amazon Prime Video and you didn't get ads? Beautiful times. Wonderful. But the more there are, the worse they get.
Back to it. Disney is the biggest name in the film industry, so following trajectories of their most valuable intellectual properties means to also follow a trajectory of rejection. As soon as properties like Star Wars and the MCU saw a healthy dose of modern culture injected into their storytelling, both decline in quality to the point where leaks exist that they internally think Rey is their most valuable Star Wars asset. Somehow, though, they mean it unironically. They have Darth Vader and Grogu, but, Rey. But I digress. Over the span of a decade, we dealt with terrible writing with Mary.
The thing is, like, I would say that Disney has very much damn it, I've got my point. The problem is, like, Disney is struggling to the point where technically eventually Apple will be able to buy them if they fall more. I just wonder if the others also will struggle eventually. Because I've seen an uprise in pirating stuff again, in piracy. So I'm curious.
Sues like Rey, to real-world defense from the media with cries of various phobias towards fans, revealing a through line from Last Jedi in 2017 to Disney's apology this year with Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's so much that happened in between those two movies, it's hard to pick a low light.
I think the Star Wars sequels would have been better. I forgot the black man's name. But I think he should have been the Jedi, actually. I felt it weird that they didn't really... they built him kind of up to be like a Jedi. But then somehow really not. It's just so weird. Like, when I watched the first sequel movie, I felt like it was all over the place. Because in my mind, I already established the stormtrooper to be the Jedi, but that wasn't the case. I really hated that.
Hulk is definitely up there, but Disney wasn't alone in producing something with the hand of DEI on it. Rings of Power, anyone? Yes, there are hundreds to pick from across the industry, but that's a personal anti-favorite. The landscape of film changed so...
I felt weird watching Rings of Power because it feels... Though it is modern, it feels like a worse production than the original Lord of the Rings. And I find that sad. From the way it is, from the writing to the outfits, I would say. It feels cheaper.
Rapidly, it was jarring. While this was happening, celebrities had social media IV'd into their veins, seemingly never taking a day off from explaining to us why we're wrong for disliking their shitty movie, who to vote for, or what current event was the most important thing and you're a bad person if you disagree. And so, an escalation of shitty movies and narcissistic behavior from those starring in them has led us to this moment. The people of Hollywood came out in droves to endorse their favorite candidate, while one candidate...
I absolutely despise this scumbag. Because he pretty much said, if you have pets and you are too poor, just kill him! Just kill him! That's what bro said! I absolutely, as somebody who loves animals and has dogs, cats, and all kinds of pets, throw this man into the garbage bin and never let him return.
Candidate got mostly lesser-known stars like, say, Kevin Sorbo, and the straggler big name like a Dennis Quaid. The other got the fucking Avengers, and nearly every major current star walking that P. Diddy-style Wild West that is Hollywood.
I love
He's Jeffrey. Let's go!
No, I don't think so.
That character
Didi mentioned, as usual.
and movie aged well. Fuck it, it's still goated. Endorsements flew in from across the entertainment landscape like it always has, and the movie and TV business kept up its end of the bargain. Hell,
Dennis Quaid is a MAGA supporter? I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
even former pro wrestler turned former steroid specialist Dave Bautista got in on the action with his own social media rants. Every endorsement reeked of greed, ego, and self-righteousness. Naturally so, because that's what they embodied. Every nicety was clearly paid for, even though these people were already saying these political bullet points because it got them their social credit amongst their peers and potential bosses. The reported $10 million that Beyonce was paid should give a good idea how much, say,
10 million. 10 million. For a celebrity speaking out. Oh my god. Diddy Kong is a name from Donkey Kong, also aged like milk. There is an ASMR YouTuber that is called Diddley ASMR. Her comment section is in the trenches. It has gotten so bad. It is so bad. It's crazy. Especially since, like, aren't most people that listen to Beyonce women? Wouldn't that mean that those women already vote usually Democrats? So wouldn't that usually not even do anything? That wouldn't even do anything. Like, I don't know. Shouldn't you invite people to your rallies that have a male audience because it's the men that usually vote more conservative? Weird.
the Avengers were paid to do it, also a fucking lot. It came off as self-righteous. Instead of urging people to get out and vote, it was to get out and vote for specified candidate that they deemed best for you. Well, if your pick for president loses, I advise you not to follow in Rachel Zegler's footsteps. Who's Rachel Zegler, you ask? Don't give me an excuse to play the best B-roll of Zegler cringe in town.
I'm a narcissist.
What the fuck? I've never seen that clip of her. Yeah, Rachel Zegler is supposed to be the new Snow White. And funnily enough, apparently, like, the stepmom is supposed to be, or is it the stepmom? I don't know, I don't remember. The evil queen, not the stepmom, evil queen. The evil queen is supposed to be Gal Gadot, which is kind of, like, more pretty than her. So the mirror will be right for the first time.
Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part. That people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I say...
That is a lot of hate for your male coworker. That is very weird. Maybe she is a narcissist. Maybe she's right, actually. Though the problem is, if people want to go and see Snow White, they assume that they're gonna see the story of Snow White. And not, whatever this is supposed to be.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
As that reminder informed you, Zegler isn't new to saying the correct right-think talking points about her own films, as well as whatever personal hills she...
Every hour that is streamed, yes, that is Rachel Zegler for you. She is a special kind of woman.
She has to die on in real life. After her chosen candidate lost, she posted on Instagram what she probably thought was poetic but was actually YouTube fodder. She concluded her rant by saying she wishes anyone who doesn't agree with her political leanings never know peace. As soon as it was posted, it blew up online, grabbing headlines and making sure Disney's live-action Snow White gets delayed yet again, I'm certain of it. No, but delayed or not, she was forced to issue an apology, which was surely written by her agent, a confidant, or just Disney's PR team. The apology actually uses capital
I find it so weird that people absolutely lost their shit because people voted for Trump. Because they still don't realize that if you want to win any elections, you actually have, as a politician, to give people what they want. And if you don't do that, you're going to lose, which in this case was the case, unfortunately. Like, do they ever realize that it might be on them? Like, ever?
letters after all, not exactly her style. And I'm sure the people at Disney are losing their collective heads. Rachel Zegler, a person who desperately needs good PR and a hit film, but can't help herself. A Gen Z tale. Zegler's situation and the reaction to it is a microcosm of how people feel toward the modern actor. The frequent teeter between indifference and annoyance, let alone listening to what they have to say about who to vote for. Zegler definitely isn't alone in making a fool of herself like this, but she is the latest and best example because she's the lead actress in a major upcoming motion picture, who runs around spouting the most cliche right-think talking points.
Snow White. No White. Real. I don't know. It's not just that she's playing Snow White, right? I just generally think that we don't need live-action remakes of old media, right? How about, instead of making remake after remake after remake, we create new franchises that people might be able to enjoy, instead of dismantling old ones. This does not go just for movies, TV shows. This also goes for video games, books, whatever. Stop making remakes. Make new stuff.
It's like they're on a Dave Bautista level of steroids. Other notables from our side of geek culture losing their minds are Mark Hamill, who decided to leave Twitter for the week or so he'll be able to handle it, and Jimmy Kimmel, who took to being the example of the fall of late night and nearly broke down in tears. Now that we're all caught up, we can see exactly why all this happened. It's been covered at length at how actors have lost their mystique since their introduction of social media. Yes, it's the fall in line message of Hollywood that's pushed people into apathy. The perception of actors has shifted over the past couple decades.
The only, I think, really good Marvel trilogy, is Guardians of the Galaxy. I like those movies a lot. Probably mostly because of Chris Pratt. But still, I like those movies a lot.
Even heavier in the latter, and they carry a lot less cultural weight than they used to. The social media factor is one thing, but another is the nature of the theatrical experience. It's well documented that the theater industry is reliant on the big budget movies just as much as the movie studios. And with budgets ballooning and audiences flocking away from run-of-the-mill message-infused trash, two industries need a simultaneous...
One of the worst movies that released ever, I think this year, is the... What was it? I forgot it. Was it not? I forgot. Shit, I forgot it. Yeah, I forgot it. Damn it. I have a. It's based on a game series, but it absolutely and utterly failed. Absolutely horrendous. I forgot what it was.
revival stat. They have no box office stars anymore because the industry is so reliant on properties. Most stars in today's world are only stars so far as they're attached to a well-known character. There aren't really any box office draws via name only anymore. Even the few that are relics of the past have some flops that go around. Please see Tom Cruise. And one of the numerous reasons for a sharp fall in box office since its heyday is because those people starring in films are real-world phonies, and the audience is in on the joke at this point. Before social media, celebrity antics were were confined to award shows and interviews. Now they broadcast their lives and opinions 24/7, exposing self-absorbed lifestyles, moral high grounds, and personalities disconnected from reality.
One of the worst movies released this year was the Borderlands movie. Yes! That one I meant. Borderlands. The Borderlands movie. It was so bad. I think it did like 20%, not even 20% of what it like costed to make that movie. It was absolutely bad.
This constant stream of information hasn't humanized them. No, in fact, it reveals shallow personalities and worldviews. Politics, of course, aren't spared. Celebrities, they spew views, damaging their careers. It's what they do. Political opinion doesn't matter. Tim Allen's right-wing stance and Gina Carano's Disney feud sparked controversy regardless, and Seth Rogen's Twitter rants have fans questioning how this guy went from Superbad to Santa Inc. Someone once said Seth Rogen's the kind of guy who'd climb a glass wall to see what's on the other side. Social media fuels celebrities' attention addiction, amplifying virtue signaling that reinforces Hollywood's negative image. During the strikes, people shrugged, viewing Hollywood as out-of-touch elitists. Most impacted individuals weren't millionaires, but
they are making a live-action movie of Lilo and Stitch. Leave Lilo and Stitch alone, please. I don't want this anymore. Can we not just make new movies? I've already seen that they're making a live-action version of How to Train a Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon. It's like, first of all, Astrid is not a white Viking, but okay, bro. I mean, it's just like, why is it that we race swap only white characters, but we don't with black characters? I want to see race swap Black Panther. It's so weird. Can we just keep things the way they are? Like it would be weird. Like I'm making a new version of iRobot, and I replace the character of Will Smith with, I don't know, Chris Pratt. It would just be weird. It would feel off. Thankfully, I watched a YouTube review by Most Critical of the Borderlands movie, so I didn't watch the movie. I have no connection to like the Borderlands games in general. I just know that there's a movie of it and that it was horrendously bad.
public perception screams, oh no, the millionaires want more. Hollywood's current image problem persists, fueled by social media's relentless spotlight. Celebrities' constant self-aggrandizement further erodes public empathy. Their lives, once glamorous, now seem detached and self-serving. Social media's double-edged sword connects fans while highlighting Hollywood's flaws. It's why the world reacts with a collective eye roll to celebrities' pleas for support.
Eminem doing this, like, speaking up for Harris, I found that so weird, because Bro was always anti-establishment. And now he isn't. Bro got probably paid a big fat sum. Lilo and Stitch is my favorite movie, if they're taking that and destroying my favorite movie. From what I've seen right now from the material of Lilo and Stitch, it doesn't seem too bad. We don't have anything, like, concrete for now, but it doesn't seem too bad. We'll have to see, right? But it might be okay. It might be solid. I think one of the franchises that they butchered the most is The Lion King. They absolutely butchered that franchise because using those CGI lions makes it more realistic lion designs, makes it so that emotions are much harder conveyed than they are when they are just drawn, right? Absolutely hated.
It's hard to forget these endorsements cost a lot of money, too, and Hollywood's no stranger to peddling cringe for cash. Case in point, MGM's founder made his fortune backing Birth of a Nation, a wildly racist film controversial even in its time. Fast forward to Captain America's skeptical take on the World Security Council and Civil War, him saying it's run by people with agendas, and agendas change, and that sums up Hollywood's propaganda machine nicely. From promoting racist films to the US government scrubbing 1,500 scripts of anti-American content content during World War II, Hollywood's history is rife with agenda-driven manipulation, and celebrities have long used their platforms too, but they were much smaller and not with unfettered access to them. When he won his Oscar for The Godfather, Marlon Brando sent Shasheen Littlefeather to accept his award.
Yeah, BLM is such a scam. It is actually crazy. It was pretty much just like an organization, and the money that went to that organization is gone, because I think it was a chick that ran it. Literally took the money and then just ran off. So Black Lives don't matter as much when it comes down to money, apparently. Such a shitty move to use something that is technically good, that is actually good, and then abuse it like that. Horrendous.
Refusing it himself, and gave her a chance to expose the industry's mistreatment of Native Americans. The audience's mixed reaction, applause, and boos contrast sharply with modern Hollywood's manufactured outrage. Today, such gestures would earn a standing ovation, but it would be expected, not authentic. Also hilariously, some of Littlefeather's family came out to say she was a fraud and not actually Native American. Just want to throw that out there. Going back to what's authentic, these celebrity endorsements get a collective hand wave from people because they come from a source of inauthenticity. Professions like actor and musician are still high on the list of childhood dream jobs, but content creator, TikToker, and YouTuber are taking over. The idea of celebrity and the desire for fame won't be leaving society anytime soon, but what celebrity is and how it's obtained has shifted. It's not the old standby examples of a rock musician or a Hollywood actor people want to be anymore. Because of the internet and the ability to have unfettered access to celebrities, a content creator is both an entertainer and a person that doesn't have to answer to a studio. Content creators don't have to say the right thing like a celebrity does. They don't have
Well, it depends, right? Depends. First of all, it depends on how big you are. First of all, it depends on what niche you're in. For example, VTubers, if you're a corpo VTuber, you can't just say what you want, because then you're getting cooked. But yeah, most of the time, a content creator can just say what they want, and usually not much will happen, except if you get your ass beat by Twitter people. That was my mom's favorite movie. After seeing that, she stopped watching it. I did not even watch the Lion King movies, and I will not watch like the modern ones, and I will not watch the one coming. I have no interest in that.
to fall in line. So podcasters and TikTokers have become vastly more appealing to people because of the authenticity those platforms force a creator to have. The appeal is in the authenticity of the person talking. Instead of Brad Pitt or Arnold Schwarzenegger being the examples of popular male celebrities, the biggest is someone like Joe Rogan, a podcaster and cage fight commentator. Yes, I'm leaving comedian off that list. Sorry, Joe. Rogan's become one of the most famous people on earth because of his authenticity and in part due to him exposing people, including those from Hollywood, for the phonies and clowns they are. Sometimes when they're guests on his show, sometimes by simply letting them shoot themselves in the foot when they complain about him. Right, Neil? That's what I find most interesting about this whole thing. What celebrity is has been fundamentally changed. What people think of a celebrity has changed. If institutions like CNN or Fox have become legacy media, and podcasters and YouTubers are the new mainstream.
I agree. I think there has been a shift to people craving more and more authenticity, and when people aren't authentic, they get wiped out, they fail. That's just what I have seen. However, people might disagree with that.
Media, then an actor is the legacy celebrity to the mainstream celebrity, like a Rogan or even the president-elect. These legacy celebrities are getting a larger dose of reality with each passing year and each changing and declining box office return of their last movie. I did a video earlier this year called How Virtue Signaling Killed Hollywood, a look at one of the many reasons Hollywood is falling apart, and this election season has somehow managed to shine a light on the problems they've been having out in California. Indeed, with all the problems they're facing, it feels the question of whether they've realized the problem out there in LA, and if so, are they going to correct it? Cynically speaking, yeah, they have realized the problem. Just like we knew they wouldn't, I don't think the Avengers cast thought they'd be shifting minds either, but the money they were paid certainly didn't hurt.
All we know from, realized from this video is, do not trust Hollywood. They change with the wind. Is pretty much what we can say here. They're just here to make money and nothing else.
No, they see the problem, but Hollywood isn't interested in trying something new or trying to make movie stars again. If there were movie stars, studios would be able to make any kind of movie they wanted because people would come to the theater for the star. Since they don't anymore, they have to fit the star into the movie, and only one size kind of fits at a time, whatever trendy thing is at the moment. I mean, you have the biggest company in the business apologizing, going back to the well, and hey, Robert Downey Jr. is in the MCU again. All that sort of stunt casting does is reinforce my point about people not giving a shit about movie stars anymore. They like a person in a role. And tell me Hollywood doesn't get the problem, and I'll show you the RDJ reveal. Whether that works or not is an entirely other story for an entirely different day.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how that has changed. Like I said in the beginning, if I wanted to name a modern like movie star, I wouldn't barely be able to tell you a few. Like, right, there's Chris Pratt, there's the guy that plays Thor. So you already forgot his name, but yeah, it's becoming increasingly difficult for those people to prevail. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes in the future.